18 months ago, I decided I finally wanted to unlock a standing front flip. It's a skill I've always wanted to have. I've done parkour and tricking on and off for years, but I was just never powerful enough to do it. Now, it's not like I've ever really taken a break from parkour and tricking, but it's never been a main hobby since I was a child. You know, once a month I'll do a flip, I'll do some sort of movement class, or maybe I'll be actively training it once or twice a week, but it's not been this consistent theme, so it's just something I never got. But I just wanted it. Literally since I was 14, I have thought about that move. I remember seeing a guy try it in a park once, and I just had to do it. I remember I've thrown myself at the ground too many times to count in attempts of this move and just smashed my ass on the floor over and over and over again. So 18 months ago, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm gonna get powerful enough to do it. I'm gonna train twice a week. I think it actually worked out more like once a week, but I attempted to go 2 times a week to get this movement. And spoiler alert, I actually got it, which was fucking sick. I was well buzzed about it. And today I wanted to share with you the 3 power movements that I used to get powerful enough to actually do the standing front flip. But before we jump into them, I will just add a disclaimer here. These movements were obviously in the wider spectrum of a training program. They were part of a full training program. So please don't think you can just do these 3 movements and get powerful enough. But if you do want to see the full program, I will tell you how you can check it out later on in the video. But for now, let's jump into the movements. First movement, we've got power cleans, and I would do these twice a week for a couple of different reasons. The first one was to develop max power, because obviously to do a standing front flip, I needed to get more powerful. I wanted to improve my maximal power. So the way I'd use power cleans for this is just once a week, I would either hit a heavy single or a double of a power clean, or I'd work up to a heavy complex. So a good example might be clean pull into a power clean, something like that. And I'd just build up to the heavy single to develop maximal power, because cleans are great for that. But I would also use them for power endurance. And that might seem a bit counterintuitive if you're looking to develop a skill which requires like maximal output. But when you're doing a parkour session, a tricking session, just any movement session where you're trying a power skill over and over and over and over again, you're not really doing it with your max power. You're going to be doing it with an element of power endurance. So the better your power endurance, the more attempts you get. So I wanted to improve my power endurance alongside this maximal power. And I did a disgusting workout for it. I actually have done a video on this, so I'll link that here if you want to check it out. But I would do 3 power cleans into 3 muscle ups, and then in the time remaining, I would just do a fucking assault bike for maximal calories. But that wasn't quite it. I would do that as an E3 mom. So every 3 minutes on the minute for 15 minutes, it was 3 power cleans, 3 muscle ups, max calories on the assault bike in the time you had left. Obviously, you couldn't go like absolute death mode on the assault bike because you wouldn't be able to do the power cleans and the muscle ups if you were like dead getting off it, but you can go pretty hard. And I mean, check out the video. It was pretty savage, but it was a really, really great way of developing my power endurance. And honestly, it's like the best my power endurance in jiu-jitsu has felt, even alongside doing the standing front flip here. Number 2 is seated box jumps. And these are incredible for building your maximal rate of force development in jumping. You just start from sitting and you absolutely hoon it. So it's like, how hard can you fire and how much force can you produce? And this is great for a standing front flip because, you know, you're standing tall and you've just got to go. You have to generate all this power from your legs. You get a little dip, but there's not this big swing and up like you get in a backflip. You've just got to pop. Having an amazing rate of force development was essential, and a seated box jump allowed me to do it from like, you know, this 90 degree, you're not dropping to 90 degree in the front flip, but it was good enough from this roughly 90 degree position to develop this rate of force development. And honestly, I would just absolutely hoon it in singles and doubles, and I would do anywhere between like 4 and 8 sets once a week. So I just have one session where I have them, and I would do between 4 and 8 sets of singles or doubles and just hoon it. And that would be with like 3 to 5 minutes rest. So it was really like maximal effort just trying to develop this rate of force development. And I mean, it bloody worked for me. As I've already said, I got the standing front flip. So I think this is a great exercise for this movement in particular, but also just developing your rate of force development full stop. If you're doing anything where you need to improve that, seated box jumps are really nice for it. And third, we had deep yielding depth jumps. Now, these were for a very specific reason, and it's because you have to try really bloody hard when you do this. So it was a way for me to just train my nervous system in jumping to fire as hard as possible. And if you didn't know, your ability to actually like fire your nervous system is quite a big part of power. You have this thing called neural drive, and it's functionally just how much of a signal, how quick of that signal can you send to your muscles and how hard can you get them to fire. So doing a movement like a deep yielding depth jump where I'm going to come off a big thing, drop really low and just try and get myself out of that hole as quickly as possible is a brilliant way to train the nervous system to just fire fucking hard in a jump. And that was really why I did it. I didn't particularly choose one type of depth jump. I did loads of different ones. So sometimes I'd just jump, go down, come straight up. Sometimes I'd do a little double bounce, come up. Other times I'd do it weighted, I'd really mix it up. But I would just do roughly 5 sets of these a week. Generally they were in one session, but you could spread them out. And the whole purpose of it was just to go flipping hard. And I did. And finally, I've got a bonus one for you there, and that is muscle ups, because I had muscle ups in my program twice a week. And I didn't program them to improve my standing front flip, but really they are an incredible power exercise for your upper body. There's this absolute rip of the arms, and obviously if you're doing standing front, you're ripping the arms down pretty hard. So I think it helped, and of course it improved my overall power endurance. But I will say I was only doing muscle ups once a week with that power intention in mind, which was during that power endurance workout with the power cleans, where I was doing a bar muscle up and I was trying to rip those as fast as possible. The other muscle up I was doing was actually doing ring muscle up, and I was doing ring muscle ups the other time. And of course, when you're doing those at body weight, you can rip those pretty quickly. But generally, I was actually looking to build weight on those because I wanted to get really strong upper body. So it was kind of like a slow pull, big over the top and go. So I don't know how much that secondary session contributed, but I do believe building that rip in the power endurance workout of my arms definitely helped a little bit. So that's a bonus one for you there. So those are the 3 main exercises I use to develop the power to do a standing front flip and the rationale behind it. So I hope that helps you implement them into your own training. But if you want to check out how I actually implemented this into the program that I was running at the time, then you can jump on the Different Breed Athlete Academy. This is our community and education platform in which you will find an 8-week course covering all the fundamental principles of athletic training we use at Different Breed, a wicked community of people just trying to be their most athletic selves who you can hang out and chat with. I'm in there all the time chatting away, and trust me, it's actually a great place to just make some friends. And it also includes a programming library which has videos from guest coaches covering a range of different topics, but also a load of videos from myself, including program breakdowns and deep dives. And in fact, there is one that covers this power block exactly. So if you want to check it out, head over to the Different Breed Athlete Academy. I will leave a link in the description below. It's a one-time payment of $69. You get access for life, and the content is continually updated. It really is worth it. So I hope to see you in there. And that is that for today. Thank you for watching the video, guys. I will catch you in the next one.